Hello, I'm on the allotment again. I think it's the 17th of May 2020 and I'm doing a catch-up. I'm looking at protection for plants because yesterday we came to the allotment and it was so heartbreaking. I was very cross. I'd planted my sweet corn plants, or one set of them anyway, because I had two sets since Chris kindly got me another lot from B&Q, and they were looking lively and green and lush, and I thought, well, it's halfway through May and the weather's supposed to be getting warmer and they'll be fine. And were they? They were not. I think there must have been a cold wind in the night. I didn't see any sign of frost, but when we came yesterday they had disappeared into a little pulpy mess of transparent soggy leaf that had evidently got cold in some way or other, even though I had surrounded these plants with a thick layer of straw, and the wind had actually blown the straw over the top of them, but it still hadn't protected them from this frost or cold wind, whatever it was. So this is my bed of sweet corn, and here's one of them. The leaf is completely finished. It's still green at the bottom, but how long it will take to recover from that onslaught, I don't know. There are volunteer potatoes everywhere. This is one that was sheltered by the compost heap and it's not too bad. This one's growing in one of my brassica tunnels and you can see it's all brown and shriveled. The mesh has not actually protected it from the cold wind. The brassicas are doing fine. There's a little one. Over here's a bigger one. And this one's really very vigorous, but the potato on its left, you can see that's all brown and shriveled as well. Not that I cared too much about the volunteer potatoes. They take a chance on that. Either they survive or they don't. But I had earthed up the potatoes in the potato plot and they seem okay actually. There they are, poking up again. They really want to get going now. This is one of my carrot seed beds and something keeps coming and digging this up. I had a plastic mesh covering over it which I took off, which perhaps was a little premature. Poor little things hanging on the cliff edge there. So there it is, back again. So we tried erecting the cage that I ordered, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago from some company. It's made by Hacksnicks, the same people who make the bamboo hoops that I like so much for covering the brassicas in their early stages. But this is a slightly higher tunnel. It's almost a polytunnel, but it's quite small as polytunnels go. And you had a choice of mesh covering or plastic covering, and one of the reasons why we got it was because we had a lot of torn plastic left over from the polytunnel at home, and Chris was saying, well, if we could build another structure we could use this for cucumber beds or something. So I erected this frame. I didn't put the mesh on, which I got with it because we've got the plastic from the polytunnel, the old plastic. And so we cobbled together something. I don't know how long it'll last. It's been there a day so far and the wind's blown it a little bit because it has very little anchorage. But at least it might protect the little cucurbits that I've put in there. I just put 3 in and the rest had to go home for later. Honestly, this is the southeast. I don't expect there to be cold like this in the middle of May, but you have to be prepared for everything with gardening and have backup supplies and protect wherever you possibly can. The peas are disappointing. We started them really early because peas don't like to grow in the hot weather, and blow me if it wasn't really, really hot in April. Not that that helped them. We've got 3 separate pea stands. 2 of them, the peas have just been absolutely ravaged by, I presume, pea and bean beetle, which has just chomped away at their leaves, and every time they put out another leaf it gets chomped again. The 3rd stand is ramping away, and this is, I believe, what should happen with peas. They should just grow rapidly enough to avoid the insects, and I don't know why it didn't happen on the other 2. And then the runner beans, they're obviously tender as well, and I had planted them a few days prior to the sweet corn, and I had wrapped some netting around them, and I fondly hoped that the netting would protect them from the worst of the winds and that they might survive any drops in temperature. But no, they're looking severely scorched. The thing about runner beans is that they can survive a bit of frosting. They can come up again from the ground because they have quite a good supply of food in their root system, but it takes time and you never know. So I think I might go home and plant some more runner beans in pots just in case. I'm renewing the pheromone traps today to catch the plum moth grubs. These are from last year. I left them in there. Lazy me. I put them out a bit late last year, probably after June had started, I think, and I thought they hadn't worked because the first plums we harvested were absolutely full of moth grubs. But the main crop didn't have moth grubs, so I think that was because we had caught the later ones. So I'm going to do that now, and hopefully I won't get any grubs this year. One in the big plum tree. That's how big the plums are at the moment. And one in the damson tree at the other end. This seems to have quite a lot of damsons this year. We might have had 3 or 4 last year, but not very many. They're looking hopeful. The hazel hedge is growing really well. This little one that I think caught the council spray last year, it's still growing. And this is the loganberry that nearly died last year from the council spray. The council haven't sprayed the fence yet this year. In fact, they haven't even mowed the playground because it's supposed to be closed to the public. Brilliant for wildlife. Peter's waiting for some entertainment. He wants me to throw the ball again. So let's hope we get some warmer weather in the next few weeks and then we can really get on with the planting. Bye.